I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible. But I was watching the stuff about Chesley Chris and stuff, and I paid attention to some of the details. I see that her mom, I guess, is remarried, and I mean, I don't mean to really point this out, but yeah, remarried. She got her at least two white men, honey. Got her mixed children with her and stuff like that. Anyway, um, just seeing how on that one interview where she said she wore her daughter's Lord help me. She wore her daughter's blazer and stuff like that, favorite blazer, and she said, and I can't, you know what I'm saying? I really can't speak on the intricate details of somebody else's relationship with their child and stuff like that. But I don't know, some stuff just kind of catching me off guard or whatever. But yeah, she said she wore her daughter's blazer, and then just how they said the note that Chesley left was like, I'm leaving everything to my mom. And she said something about, she told her mom, you did everything right. And the mom was like, that made her feel better about something or whatever. And I'm like, and just to me, and I mean, I'm not putting me and my daughter in that because I definitely don't want no problems like that. But like, honey, I want my daughter to admire me and my kids, period. But, to admire me and stuff like that and definitely feel like I do things right. But also know that I'm not perfect and things do happen and mistakes are made and stuff like that. Definitely. Definitely. And that's definitely important. But, and definitely don't want her to feel like she's to blame for, if things aren't right or whatever. Or to me, in my case, I say righteous, but yeah, so that means it's just something that I probably have to be honest with my child about, and I just trust God for His time. I won't try to do it now and stuff like that. But, um, but dang, that just like tried to hit me while I was talking about this. But I seen that or whatever, and it just like kind of bothered me how she wanted to leave everything just specifically to her mom. Uh, and then Um, oh, it was something else I was thinking about. Oh, and just the fact that, I guess it might have been mental health or whatever it was that led to her ultimately doing that, doing the irreversible. And just again thinking about how when my daughter, because her mom had said something about like her first attempt, and just how when my daughter said like had some, felt some type of way or whatever, because I had to do something, had to regulate or whatever, and she felt like ashamed and embarrassed and stuff like that, and so to the point where she was like, oh, basically I can't, it was just in a quick moment, oh, I can't live, basically I can't live with that and won't get past that moment or whatever. I definitely gotta, I don't know, let God do it. It came up for a reason, but anyway, it was almost like she was feeling like she couldn't get past that moment of embarrassment and this, that, and the third. And she felt like she had to do something, that would have been permanent for something that happened temporarily. Um, and so, yeah, and I ended up, thank God, I was right there with her, so I was like, oh, heck no, the devil is a lie. And then there was another time when she was just like, I mean, I just flat out, let's be honest, she was just like, I'm ready to die. And I'm just like, wait, what? Because it was something going on in like September of 2020. I don't remember what it was. I was like, what? And I didn't know what to do. I'm like, hold on. And so, and this is still before, I felt the well, I felt it in 2019, definitely. But this is before I like acted on something that, like I said, I felt pressured to do. So I don't know, really how my I don't know how to explain that part. I'll just leave that alone. But anyway, I was there then too when she said, and I'm like, wait, what? And I'm just feeling like, honey, that's got to be somebody else or something going on with them. They must be feeling ready to die. Because I know at the time, of course, my child was 12. Like, I know my 12-year-old is not feeling like that. Like, what is going on? The devil is a lie. But the truth of the matter is, you really can feel like that, even whether it's a moment or whether it goes on for days and days. And, yeah. Um, that's why I definitely tried to encourage my child recently when she said something about whatever teacher or whatever said to her and it affected her, try to penetrate her. Um, so whatever, any type of suicidal spirit that could be, I'm not even saying it is, but it could be trying to linger or be in the vicinity near my child. It needs to go on where it's supposed to be, because that ain't it. Bind and rebuke. But um just remember her, saying that, and I could tell this time, she's soft spoken, and that don't mean that she's necessarily the softest person, because I know she got something in her to be tough, but to be somewhat tough, should I say? But but and evidently, she done got into some fight, so that means you will at least attempt to. But it's just, to me, it's not for her to be fighting and contending with things, some spiritual, well, some a lot of spiritual things, and definitely some natural things, but I'm just having a hard time like processing and talking about it, because I said it just tried to hit home. And I thank God. And when the mom was like, the attempt, I'm like, wait a minute, the attempt, the first attempt. And that's why I'm like, I don't want it to ever be a second attempt regarding my daughter. And that's why I'm like, you know what? Honestly, I feel like, let her be occupied with such and such and this, that, and the third. But then Chesley went on to say her dad had her introduced her to athletics and stuff like that. And then she spoke. And then Chesley herself had then said, 30 is, I'm getting older. So by society's, basically society's definition, like, that, you less relevant. I'm misquoting, but she said something along those lines, and it's like, wait, what? And somebody was like, I'm so tired of society culture. But yeah, we are so programmed that we are so concerned about what society think, and so we can't even focus on. And you're too busy wanting to be like somebody spoke, the overachiever, or look good in these kind of eyes or whatever. Um, look good in the eyes of the people, because you don't want to look bad or whatever. I don't know. There's just some. If I get into it too deep, it's some heavy stuff, and especially if it has anything regarding my life, my loved ones and stuff like that, and especially my daughter. Like, even now, I don't feel like I can, like I used to, was coming in her room and I was sitting there talking to her. If I'm not at the point where I feel like I can freely reach out to her and say certain stuff and try to counteract what somebody else is doing and this, that, and the third, then I know, I mean, either way, I'm going to trust God, whether she was here and up close and personal with me or whether she was there. Like when she used to be here in her room, I'm in here praying. Wherever she's been at now, I'm in here praying. But if I can't just simply give you some words of encouragement that can like help rectify that situation or anything like that, I say help. I ain't say actually resolve, because I can't resolve anybody's problems. We all are designed to go to God, which is our creator. But I know he put something in some of us to be able to empower and encourage others. So, that's why I'm quickly trying to get over the stuff that was thrown at me and said to me, because, honey, I gotta be some good to be able to encourage my kids and to be able to tell, give them some wisdom, some wise advice, and some wise counsel. So, yeah, with that, I don't know. I just want to be honest and let her know, what I feel like my part is in it. But I think, again, I'm going to let God's time and do it, because I like to talk to my kids up close and personal. I don't really like to tell them everything. And I didn't feel the need to tell her that then, but I did I remember myself still bringing up, when you was here. Wasn't blaming her or anything, but I was just reminding her when you was here, you know, All you had to do was come and knock on the door. I think I told her that before. All you had to do was come and knock on the door. You chose not to for whatever reason. And that's that. But um, but this time she she came and I don't even think she had to knock on the door this time. I don't know. She might try to ring the doorbell, but I keep my doorbell out. This time she did, and I'm thankful. That definitely stands out. She came and she knocked on the door. Hallelujah. But I want you to continue. So I just told her, I was like, honey, we your family. You welcome here, and don't let the enemy make you feel otherwise. Don't matter how long you have done been away. Don't let the enemy make you feel no other type of way, like somebody gonna throw you away. I could just almost envision myself telling her, "Girl, you better get away from my house," and just like I just thought for a minute, just playing with her. You ain't welcome here, but no, I don't even like to play with people like that because my natural goodness just flows out anyway. If I'm ready to, be up close and personal with you and stuff like that. But anyway, uh, I don't want the enemy to ever be getting no foothold and tricking mine and making mine feel well, none of mine. I'm just my daughter. But you just feel like daughters are just so precious. But my sons are precious as well. I don't care what nobody feel, think, or say. They ain't little babies and stuff no more, but they still precious to me. And it's just that. So call it what y'all want, but yeah, that whole situation. I just want her to know that, you ain't, yeah, you did. I feel like she did do stuff to contribute, but I feel like she was either pressured or by this world or by just, if there's such thing as spiritual genetics, that spiritual stuff was trying to weigh down on her and put that pressure on her I'm gonna say be like or be similar to her so-called dad's side of the family or whatever. And just honestly stuff that he done did in his past, probably try to catch up and whatever and try to haunt and torment. And I know something about that because I feel that on almost an everyday basis. I experience that. I just hope that I've experienced that for my children. I've done things, so I'm like, I hope stuff don't come and try to haunt them because of what I did. And that's why I be like, damn, I'd rather have been dealt with than it to pass down to my kids. So I'm gonna tell you one thing. When I did do what I did, I was immediately pretty much dealt with, and I'm like, hey, but it did still affect my children. So even though they didn't have to, they weren't the ones who really felt it. I mean, they felt something, but they didn't really feel it like I did. And I'm like, and I don't even want to feel that and experience what I did. So it's like, why would I want to pass that down to my kids? Why would I want instead of me for them to do it? And it's times when I do feel like, shoot, y'all might can take some physical pain, and I can't. I don't want to take no physical pain. But I'm definitely empowered to be like, I'd rather stand on the front lines when it comes to my children and give them a chance to either have a way of escape or a way to overcome or whatever. And so I guess I just wish more fathers and stuff would do that and stuff like that. Fathers, so-called dads, whatever. But anyway, yeah, that whole thing with Chesley Chris is just, I don't know, it's kind of bothersome. Her real dad was saying there was some family dysfunction. Honestly, I can see some of it, but it's no need in me looking all over there that much when I need to be looking right here and seeing what the dysfunction is over here, which I know a lot of it. Of course, being born out of wedlock, honey, then your mom moves on from your so-called dad, and vice versa. He tries to move on or whatever, and y'all know, I mean, I didn't even mean to really say tries, but that's what he was trying to do, and maybe one day he might make it, but the stuff he been having going on has just been it's really to try to fill a void, even honestly since another, a young girlfriend of his died and stuff like that. And I think he even said to me before, oh, everybody always leaving me. And I didn't realize back then that was trying to be manipulative and stuff like that. And we not finna do that, buddy. But like I said, I just don't want that lingering around. So again, God release me, God move on me. I'm just being honest. I'm gonna have to be honest with mine. I've always been honest with my kids. I just did it age appropriately because I want to make sure, hey, I don't gotta necessarily tell you everything that I've ever done, aside from y'all or behind closed doors or whatever. Um, because you just want to make sure that you can say it in a certain way. But I'd rather be the first ones to tell my kids certain stuff. So I don't know if whenever I ain't gonna say if, but whenever we do sit down again, I'm gonna be like, honey, I gotta be honest with you. There was a lot going on in that year. Felt pressure, and I will go back to 2019 from it's basically 2019 where I could start at. But if I wanted to go further back, I could. But I just pray that God move on me to be more of a listener when it comes to her. She was listening to me, and I want her to, but I want to be a listener and make sure she good because I didn't get details of some stuff that I missed, and I didn't just want to keep on asking her that over the phone and stuff like that because that's just not how I want to talk to my child, and they know. And she knew evidently by me not talking and answering certain stuff or whatever. Um, that honey, no, I got to see you face to face, honey. I can't do this other stuff with you. I told her, oh yeah, and I did recently tell her they put me on the suicide watch and stuff like that, and I told her that's set up to want me to kill myself, and I told her, I said, even your own so-called people, but just, it was so many, and I made it out of there, and I'm good, so, and I don't even want the type of suicide spirit to even just bother with her, but now I realize that stuff, whoever went on and committed suicide is really a spiritual thing that really tries to overtake you. And I didn't realize that it can, being that some of these kids have committed suicide, I didn't realize that it could really just bother them like that. But I guess if other types of spirits, like let's say pervert spirits or just whatever, type of foul stuff, can bother them as well as the good and overtake them, then I guess if a suicide spirit can come and try to overtake and stuff like that. So that's I'm like, I don't know who that teacher is or whatever, but the Lord knows her location. I don't know what was said. God know the details, and I don't know how my daughter's day went. I definitely want to know, but like I said, I just don't want to. I don't, girl. You gonna have to. I don't have no pride about it, but you gonna have to reach out to me if you need to talk to me and tell me something or whatever. But either way, I'm praying. At least I heard enough to know that, somebody tried to bother with her and tried to get something to penetrate. No, baby, that thing, whatever it was, a sword, a bullet, or whatever, it needs to come right on back and penetrate you, honey. And it might be the worst type of way. It might not even be nothing opposite, but it might not be that opposite, but equal. But no, it's null and void regarding my daughter because no. But also, I just pray that God help my daughter to know if she's opening herself up to certain stuff that she have no business, just by her own decision making and stuff like that. So she can, back away from that, turn away from that, repent, and all that. Seek God and trust Him. I asked her again, so you got a relationship with God? Which I know she do, because I know she got saved, but just still, like, going steady with God, or better than steady, excuse me. Um, she said, yeah, so it's good. She did realize, people covering stuff up. People try to cover stuff up, yeah. Glad you're seeing that. And I just want you to understand that's what they out here doing. People truly covering stuff up. What? What? My son walking in here. So with that said, I'm gonna leave you alone and just God be in the midst regarding how me and my daughter communicate. I want her to communicate with God. I want him to communicate with me. I'm gonna continue to communicate with God and let him speak to her spirit. When we feel like we can't reach out directly or not the timing, that's what we need to do. But I'm just praying still for it, and, the next time and the next time and the continuous as far as me and her relationship, just not nobody interfering and stuff like that, and the enemy not people really, but the spirits behind people, the enemy trying to use them to do that, bother with and break up a relationship between a mother and a daughter that it don't have, and it just is what it is. Now, of course, naturally, I feel like it don't got nothing to do with y'all. I don't even give a damn if you was there when she came out. After that, it was me and her. And when it got quiet, it was definitely me and her. Yeah, but I did allow people to be there for, because I went to my so-called mom's house for the 5 weeks. If I'd known I just needed to go and bond, I was first time mother, so I didn't know, and I knew I wanted, when I want help, I'd be trying to ask or whatever. So they let me stay there, and then I finally, that 6th week, I did go after I went home, and it was just me and her. It was quiet. But anyway,